Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ID Guru. So today I'm going to create this session especially for people who are looking towards learning AI. So I have been receiving a couple of requests for creating this particular session. So I hope this helps you. Today we are going to learn how to write an AI prompt. So basically the session is on prompt generation. Now you must have heard this term too many times of prompt generation, prompt engineering, writing an AI prompt, the usage of AI basically in your daily life. But it is not clear how to do this exactly. So I hope this helps you. If you like it, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends also so that this helps more and more people. So here goes. Let's start with first understanding what makes a good prompt. Mostly people feel that the way we write on Google, that is, suppose tell me where the latest cafe is located, and any random question. The way you write it in Google or share the latest teaching learning strategies which are used by today's teachers or the Gen Z generation, what is more liked by the Gen Z generation. So things like this, which we write in the search engine, most people do the same mistake of writing that very same language in the large language model that is for a chat GPT or a Google Gemini or a Copilot for Claude, for any of these AI based models. Basically, that will not work. You're going to get information, but it's not going to be that useful. So let's understand what is it that makes a good prompt. So as you can see on screen, firstly, what is the key idea? That should be very, very clear. That is a good prompt should be clear. It should be specific, write exactly what you want and make it as detailed as possible. So once you write more and more details, it gives ChatGPT or any search engine enough information to bring in information that for you. So when you give it correct keywords or correct uh, pointers or references, whatever it is that you have in mind that you want it to do, if you give it that, it will be able to generate correct information for you. Small details also improve these results. Now you can see two examples on the screen. What is vague for the search engine is write an email. For the AI, actually, search engine is a wrong word. Google would be a search engine. But your Claude or your ChatGPT, Gemini, all of these are AI based models. What would be clear for it is write a professional email to my manager asking for a day off the next week. Include a reason and a polite closing. So you see, it is very, very detailed to the point. You're telling exactly what you want and extremely detailed. Now, why this matters is because a clear prompt gives rise to better AI responses. The context, that is, you're telling it that you want a professional email, it is to be written to your manager. And what do you want? You want the next day off. You also want a reason to be written, and the language has to be polite. So what happens is that the AI based model understands what is it that you want. Also, it makes the result very effective because all details are already mentioned. So let us see the order in which a prompt has to be written. Now keep this in mind or write this somewhere or just mention it to me in the comments and I will rewrite it for you so that you can keep it handy. This is extremely crucial because it has even helped me. Earlier, I used to make the same mistakes, but this actually helped me make the prompt engineering much, much better. That is, the prompting is an art of order. That is, the way in which you write a prompt should be in this order. If you do this, you will get the output exactly the way you want. First is that you write the role. That is, who is it that you want ChatGPT or your Gemini to be? Who is it? So is it you yourself? Is it somebody else? Is it your manager? Is it a search engine itself? What is it that you want ChatGPT to be? We will see examples of this. So just remember this order or write it down. The context, that is, set the background for it. In what should you keep in mind while writing the answer for you? The goal, that is, what is it that you want as the final output? In the earlier example, we saw that an email has to be written. If you want something else, that is, you want a downloadable Word file, you want a PPT, what is it that you want? You write the exact goal. and the format, that is in what way do you want it to be. That is, you want the output and the output structure and tone, everything merged into one. You want it separately written. What is it? So the role, the context, the goal, and the format, all of these are extremely crucial while writing your prompt. If you write it in this order, then you're going to get excellent results. Now let us see examples of this. When you say role, you tell ChatGPT who is it. So example is that suppose you are an IELTS examiner or you're a travel guide. Now why are you telling it this? Because the role changes how the AI thinks and it answers. So if you tell it, if you're not telling it to be an examiner or a guide, it again goes back to giving you generalized answers. Remember that the AI is going to curate answers from you for all over the internet. So if you don't tell it what it is supposed to think like, it's going to give you generic or vague answers. It may even generate answers, so which are fictional. So always remember to even tell it to mention the source if you want it in your answer. If you don't want it, you can tell it later on. But if while phrasing your answer, if you want it in the output, mention it. So an example of the context next is that give details about the situation. Example is that my students are beginners who are learning grammar. So suppose we are sticking with the first example of you are an IELTS examiner. My students are beginners learning grammar. The goal is that say exactly what you want. That is, write 10 practice questions in present perfect tense. Why? Because a clear goal avoids vague answers. Setting that context that your students are beginners who are learning grammar makes the answers more relevant and less generic. Always remember this, less generic, more specific, and customized to you. If you want that, put it in this order and format eventually. Show what the answer should look like. If you give it an example, then it knows exactly what you want. That is example. Write it in a numbered list, each question under 12 words, friendly tone. Why do you have to write this? It's because otherwise it may use an authoritative tone because you're saying an examiner. So it could use the authoritative tone of a teacher or an examiner, or it could just put a generic tone to it that is no sentiments attached. It could do anything, right? Or it could mention all of this in the paragraph. So it depends upon what do you want. If you want it in a numbered list, then mention it that way. If you have a word limit, mention that as well and the tone. Why? Because the format and the tone together bring clarity and consistency. So your output is going to be perfect if you write it in this order. Now let's see a total example. We'll stitch this all together and see an example of a prompt. So here you can see on screen, you are an experienced ESL instructor designing engaging classroom materials. You've set the role. The students are Kuwaiti University freshmen who struggle with with forming questions in English and need practice for a group speaking activity. You see in how much detail this is being written. That is the role you have told exactly, to that much of specificity. That is an ESL instructor, but designing engaging classroom material. So basically, the AI has to think in this way. And the students simply, I would have written freshmen, but not just that. They are people who are struggling with forming questions in English. So what the AI understands is that English may not be their native language. That is, they have a problem with understanding the language and they need practice for a group speaking activity. That is, these people later need to go ahead and speak in a group. Context is set for it. Now, what is it that it is supposed to do? That is the goal. Generate 10 discussion questions for intermediate ESL students to practice the present perfect tense. So now that we have told the role to the AI, what is it that you're supposed to be? Context, that is, in what context are you doing this? People who have difficulty speaking English and forming questions who need practice, and also which university are they from? They are freshmen. What is my goal? That is, I'm supposed to generate 10 discussion questions for these students, intermediate ESL students, so that they can practice one particular thing from grammar. Now, if I had said simply 10 practice questions, it could pick anything from English, right? From the English language. But even within grammar, it could pick absolutely anything. So if you have any particular thing in mind, then mention that. That is, here I have written present perfect tense. So your goal is set. And lastly, for example, a good question might be, you're giving an example to the AI. Have you ever traveled outside Kuwait? Where did you go? Present the questions in a numbered list with each question limited to 12 words or fewer. Use a friendly and conversational tone suitable for motivating university learners. So you see that I have given an example of the output that I want. That one example question I have written myself so that the AI knows what to do. The remaining questions it will write on its own and exactly the way I have written it, but different one. So it will not make a mistake at all. No iterations, no rewriting the prompt. It will do a perfect job. Also, you're telling it to limit itself to 12 words or fewer so that it does not go on rambling, right? It can create any big question. When you're telling it the format, it will remember. And also to use a friendly and conversational tone because the student should not feel that is, oh my God, I don't know the language. I'm supposed to learn this. This is too difficult. 10 questions. It should not feel this way. So the AI is already told that you should keep a friendly and motivating tone for the learners. Okay, I hope this was very clear. Let's see one more example. So this is a slightly different one. We were looking at English example till now. Let's see a different one in which we are going to write the four things once more. That is the role, the context, goal, and format. Four things you're going to write. So let's start with the role again. You are an experienced marketing manager specializing in digital campaigns for e-commerce businesses. That is, you have told the AI it is an experienced marketing manager. Not only that, it specializes in digital campaigns for e-commerce businesses. Now, it is not quick commerce, it is e-commerce. So you have gone to that much of detailing. Remember the word detailing. Don't leave it generic because otherwise you're going to get vague and generic answers. So if your prompt is detailed, your answer is customized and curated to that particular detailed prompt. So you've set the role for the AI. Now you're telling the context. That is, the audience is young adults aged between 18 to 30 who are active on Instagram and TikTok. Now, reason for telling this is because the AI is supposed to curate the answer to people who are active on social network, but more specifically to Instagram and TikTok, not anything else. Why? Because the content on Instagram and TikTok appears in a particular way. It is different from Facebook. It is different from YouTube. And now you have so many social networks. If you had simply written social networks, the again AI will make a mistake. That is, the answer will not be specific to your audience, which is 18 to 30 age people who are active on Instagram and TikTok. So the more detailed you write, the clearer answer you will get. What is your goal? You have been asked to design a short social media content plan for a new product launch next week. So you understand that goal is for a very short duration. That is for the next week. The AI will keep this in mind. And now when you're saying social media, it has already mapped it to Instagram and TikTok. It will not use any other references. And finally, what is the format? Write one clear and actionable content plan that includes three type of posts, that is promotional, educational, and engagement. That is, have one of these three. And suggested captions you can include and recommended posting times. Use a professional and persuasive tone that encourages customer engagement. You see, in so much of detail, the answer is written. That is one clear, actionable content plan these people are supposed to create that includes three type of posts. Example is promotional, educational, engagement. You have written even that much. That is, what is it that the plan should include? In addition to that, it should have captions and recommended posting times and the language. That is, how are you supposed to write this? Professional and persuasive. So remember this whenever you are writing any prompt. Your AI is going to customize your answer to this very prompt. So this is an example now of writing an email. It is not just that for getting answers churned out from the AI, you can actually use the AI for many, many more things. This is an example of writing an email. So suppose it is a marketing email which you're going to use for promoting a new app, say a productivity app. Now, same story I am using your role, your context, format, and tone. You're going to use all of this. So, role, you are an experienced B2B growth marketer who writes short, high conversational launch emails for SaaS, right? Software as a service. Context you're giving, like it's a very lengthy one, but you have written in detail. I won't read it out. You can see it on screen that for the productivity app, what is it that you should keep in mind? That it integrates with Slack and Google Calendar. Your target audience is a team who leads managing 5 to 50 people, remote teams. Now, all this you need to know why. Because you're supposed to write short and high conversational launch emails. So these people should now read it. It should be able to promote that app of yours. So if you don't set the context, the AI will again do a vague job. If you write it in more detailed, the AI gives you a more customized answer. Goal is that what should the email have? Otherwise, the AI can pull from everywhere, right? From the internet or from whatever it thinks is right. It can even generate one. So, goal is that you write a subject line, put a pre-header, and a short marketing emails, but word limit that is 150 to 180 words. And the email should hook the reader. That is, don't just blabber on. It should hook the reader, that is to the point. Highlight the top benefit, include one line of social proof and a clear CTA to start the free trial. So you have told the complete goal and a format style as well to conclude. That is the example style. You have given an example that, hi, my name is so and so. Managing a remote team gets messy. So that is why focus flow keeps everyone aligned and blah, blah. You will write after that. AI knows what to do now. That is, the output will have exactly that, a subject line, three header, one line each. And the email body will have a greeting, two to three short paras, and one conclusive signature. In the end, also, it will have three alternative subject lines because you can have a testing, right? And of course, the tone will always be friendly, professional. Benefit first. Why? Because it's supposed to promote, and slightly urgent because it's a new app. You want people to look at it. You want to gain attention. And the second person is you. That is whoever is the AI is speaking to. So remember these things whenever you're writing any prompt for any kind of AI based uh, model or tool, whatever it is that you want to call it. And now these things I can only help you in writing the AI based prompts. But most importantly is you try it yourself. Till you don't try it, you won't get a feel of it. What I have told you till now is just to help you get started. If you need any kind of help in doing this further, I will have an entire series on different types of AI based tools and how to use them for different types of people. This is generic for everybody, but I will try and curate it to IDs as well as teachers or anybody who would like to use it, especially for people from the world of education. I hope this was useful. Please customize your prompts accordingly and have fun using AI. It's a very good tool. Only don't make it your master. Don't expect it to come and give you gyan. It's not going to happen. Use it as a very very good tool, a very good helper, right? So have fun with AI and try writing the prompts yourself. If you need any help, I'm there. Reach out to me. Take care.